Nostalgia everything is very in right now. I mean, the 90s and early 2000s are having a moment, which is why you need to make sure that you get a disposable camera and friendship bracelets on deck for Turning Point USA's Young Women's Leadership Summit, June 2nd through 4th in Dallas, Texas. This is the largest gathering in the country exclusively for young conservative women or older conservative women. I mean, we do sell adult tickets, so non-students are welcome. And our very first speaker drop was announced this week, which means there is still more to come. So far, look forward to seeing yours truly speak, but also cute conservatives you know and love like Candace Owens, Allie Stuckey, Kayleigh McEnany, Lila Rose, and more. Limited space is available and filling up by the minute as speakers are getting announced. Do not miss out on the best event of the year for women. Go to TPUSA.com/YWLS and use code POPLITICS for 25% off. That's TPUSA.com/YWLS with code POPLITICS for 25% off. Their imperfections have been the brunt of some of the darkest and meanest hate groups on the internet. Their family dysfunction has been tabloid fodder, and the haters have had so much influence over their lives that Child Protective Services have even been called in. When I say haters, I'm talking about thousands of trolls devoted to how much they hate them. They've been together forever and have had years of going through ups and downs and being in the public eye due to his famous sister and her family. You definitely know them. Jesse James and Eric Decker are their sister and brother-in-law. They are not your average influencers, not just because they're conservative, but because they have a totally unconventional approach to how they market products and how they show their lives to the world. Sometimes it rubs people the wrong way because they aren't this perfectly curated family only posting themselves looking and feeling their best. They keep it real, and some may even say too real. I'm prepared to ask them about all of their controversies and rumors, including being characterized as bad parents, their public falling out with Jesse James Decker, whether they've ever cheated on one another, and what they actually have to say about some of the most outrageous accusations against them on the internet. This episode is piping pop culture hot tea. Please welcome Allie and John James to The Spillover. How would you explain to somebody who has never heard of Allie Green James or John James? I feel like you guys have so many names. How would you explain to somebody that doesn't know why you're famous or why people know who you are?
Are we famous? Yeah.
First off, I would say I wouldn't consider us famous by any means. I think the definition of fame is kind of skewed nowadays. Some people know of us, but I definitely wouldn't say we were famous. It's not like very often we're walking down the street in public and someone comes up and it's like, oh my God.
But,
know what I mean?
But have you been written about in tabloids?
Yeah.
See, I would consider that to be some sort of level of fame.
Okay, fair enough, I suppose.
People definitely know who you are. You guys are also influencers. You're Instagram influencers. Like, you're posting what you're using, what you're doing, what your family's doing on a day-to-day basis. You have 2 kids, and how old are they and what are their names?
Emerson is 26 months. And
we used to make fun of moms who would do that.
So she's 2?
So she's 2.
She's not, is she? No, she's not 2.5 yet, so. No, yeah. And then Callie is 9 months.
So, all right. I feel like it's important to kind of go back to when you guys first met, because you've been together for a really long time. I followed you guys for years on social media. So yes, like way before, a very long time.
We've been together since 2014.
Yeah.
So 8 years.
I feel like I've been following you guys for that long, just about.
I love that.
How did you guys meet? How old were you guys when you met? And then how old are you now?
I'll take this one.
Go on. Oh, no, I know what's coming.
I was coming home from college from the University of Hawaii, Maui, and I really wanted to meet a girl because I was lonely out there on the island. And so I went through a phase where I was on, what was it? Was it Tinder?
Yeah, he was on Tinder.
I was on Tinder.
We all were.
Not me.
Really?
I have never been on Tinder in my life. I've never been on a single dating app.
Must be nice.
Allie's a keeper. I was on Tinder and I had met this one girl who I'd come to find she was 17 and I was 19 at the time. So that was a no-no. So I told my buddy who was from Buffalo about it, and he was like, oh, well, I could set you up on a double date. And so he had a friend named Jessica, and Jessica was friends with Allie. And Jessica told Allie she had this guy that she wanted her to meet. And Allie almost didn't go. She didn't want to go. But she did.
I did. But the kicker is that I was also 17.
No way.
But she lied.
But I said that I was 18
She
because
lied.
it was that I couldn't be 17.
Yeah.
But my friend was like, I really think this guy is like good for you. And I was like, I'm so not into it. Like I had gone through a breakup and then like a random person. And then I was just like, I'm just not into it.
Well, how soon, after you guys met, when did you have to explain, John, like, okay, so you might know that I have famous family members? Like, because I feel like that's so weird.
Did I tell you day one?
How do you tell
really
people
don't
that?
remember.
What happened was we were driving and we got in the car alone because the other two went into the store. And because we stopped at a gas station, and he was like, so like you might know so-and-so and this. And I was like, kind of confused. I was like, what? Because I didn't really know what he was talking about at first, and then he like told me, but we didn't really get into like super into detail with it.
I think it was more so with me when I would date girls back then, because there were weird situations. I would always want to, hopeful that they didn't know.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, you don't want to, date someone and it be for the wrong reasons.
Absolutely.
So I truly don't remember mentioning it, but if I did, it was probably my way of checking to make sure, okay, like this girl doesn't want to just go on a date with me because my sister's famous.
And I didn't even know anything about him before we met. So like it was totally blind.
It was.
He got in the car. He asked his friend, like, what does she look like? Is she cute? And his friend was like sitting in the back. So he's like, I don't know.
I was
he had
so
never
nervous.
met me. I had never met his friend and I picked him
I
up.
was so nervous. This is going to sound really messed up. I'm going to sound terrible saying this. But the date the night before was so bad. I told my buddy, I was like, if she gets in the car and she's ugly, I'm not getting in the car. Because I was mad about the night before.
Yeah, he said he was going to get out.
And so he's texting me and he's telling me I can't tell. And I'm like, okay.
I can't tell.
This isn't good. This isn't good. And then I got in the car, and when I saw Allie, I'm telling you, it was like love at first sight.
Oh.
I literally looked at my friend Matt and I was like, oh my God, like she's gorgeous. Like what? Because when someone tells you they can't tell, you're like, okay, he just doesn't want to say that because he doesn't want me not getting in the car.
Yeah.
But I saw Allie and I was like, oh my God.
Do you feel like you guys were instantly 0 to 60 very serious from the get-go, or was it like, oh, we're just friends, we're just talking, and then gradually it got serious over time? Because I just feel like you guys are so young to be married already and have 2 kids. Like, how old are you now?
I'm 25.
I'm
Okay.
27.
But you guys started dating when you were teenagers.
Yeah, 17 and 19.
Yeah.
So how soon did it get serious?
At first, I want to say like I didn't want it to be, right? Even though I really liked her. Like I was 19 and I had just started dating after not dating for a really long time in Hawaii. So like I kind of wanted to have fun, I guess. So I didn't want it to be super serious. And I felt like at first, as we like continued to get closer, I would try to push her away. Like I would make plans with her and then I would just like cancel the plans on her.
No, you were that guy?
I was terrible. Yeah.
He gave me the wrong number at first.
What?
And I don't even know if he did it on purpose.
I don't
was it?
either.
He doesn't
I
know
swear I
because
don't
he was
remember.
like, I had this phone number before. We've never gotten to the bottom of that. Like, did he give me
Yeah.
the wrong number on purpose? And I texted him because he was like, let's hang out tomorrow, like alone.
Yeah.
And that was after the first time we hung out. And so I was like, all right, give me your number and I'll text you. I texted him, never answered. So I texted my friend and I was like, he didn't answer. And she was like, oh, like, did you get the right phone number? And she had his number and she was like, oh, that's not the right number. And I was like, all right, well, don't say anything because he clearly was trying to ghost, like, no, don't want to talk
That's
to
what
this
she
girl.
thought.
So I was like, all right, he doesn't want to hang out. But then she like kind of forced us to hang out that night because she was like texting him, you need to text her. And then it happened. And
How soon into your all's relationship did you know, John, this is absolutely the woman I want to marry?
I think when you're a young man, you might like kind of flirt with the idea at first. So I think very early on, I thought that she was someone special. But then it's like, you go away for college and she's not there. And, very quickly you're like, I want to just have fun and stuff. So I think whenever I was like, okay, this is for real, this is a forever thing, would be after Allie moved to Loris College, where I was going to go to college with me. And when Allie stayed with me, through me just kind of being a loser, to be honest with
Why?
you.
What do you categorize as you being a loser?
Dropping out of college, living in her dorm, and working at Dunkin' Donuts.
Why did you drop out?
I hated college. I couldn't help but feel like it was such a waste of time. And whether it's because there was some truth to that or I was just distracted, I just didn't love college. Learning, just such a huge scope of information that I felt like would never be relevant to my actual career was really hard. So many other kids do it, and kudos to them, but I just couldn't do it. I saw so much more value making donuts. Dunkin' Donuts.
Allie, did you feel like that? Were you feeling like unattracted to him in that period of his life when he was figuring things out? You didn't care?
Not at all, no. I think part of it was probably just because I was young. Like, I was just in my first year of college. Like, I just loved him so much. Like, I didn't really care. That was never like, I wanted to be successful one day. And, like, everybody wants to be successful one day. But it just was, like, so far in our future that I just was like, I just love him for him. Like, I don't care what he's doing. He's working. Like, it could be worse. He could be not working.
I was a total pothead at the time, too.
Oh, yeah, he was a total pothead, which wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Which, it is what it is. Everybody does their own thing.
I mean, it's legal pretty much everywhere now.
Exactly. But for me, at the time, it was just like, I wasn't into it. So it was like not something we could like share together. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like such a big part of his life because like that's what everybody's doing. And it was like nothing for me. Like,
so did you stop because she didn't like it?
No, I smoked for quite some time after that. I think I stopped maybe like a year prior to the pandemic or something, when things got serious, which I wasn't smoking every day before then, but around that time when I was like, okay, like I don't know what this was, and when it first kind of started breaking, I knew that like health was the utmost priority, so I didn't want to be smoking anything, Yeah,
that's a good point. Allie, do you remember the first time that you met John's family?
I met his mom because she walked in on us.
No. Do you mean
no? We weren't. No. It was just like we were at his house and we went upstairs and legitimately we were not doing anything.
Well, that's not entirely.
I think we were just kissing each other. No, I definitely. Okay, there's like some discrepancy. Someone says that I had a shirt off.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I know I didn't have my shirt off.
You had just a bra on.
No, I was wearing a crop top. It was like soup. It was like this.
You had a purple bra on. I promise.
That's not when I was wearing a purple
He's
bra.
He's like, it's burned into my memory because my mom walked in.
Well,
she was freaking out more than me.
Oh, I was. His mom walked in with a flashlight.
It's like 2:30 in the morning, Alex.
Okay, but here's the thing. Like, if you follow John and Allie, like, every member of their family. Like, this is just the thing. Your all's entire family is, on social media and very public, whatever. So, like, everyone knows your mom is Mama Karen. Yeah. And so, she seems to me, like, as someone who doesn't know her actually in real life, she seems like a cool mom. Like, she would be like the Mean Girls mom in my head. Like, oh, you guys, let me know if you need anything.
No, it definitely wasn't.
What was her reaction?
No, she said that I needed to leave right away to him.
No.
She was like, she needs to leave right now. But it wasn't mean at all. She was just
in front of you?
Yeah, she was like, she needs to leave right now. And I was like mortified. We walked downstairs and I'm like, oh my God, is everything going to be okay? Like, I'm thinking his mom is never going to let him see me again. And so I was like, okay, well, that's it. But then he was like, no, it's fine. Just go. So I left. We ended up hanging out. I think he got like grounded. Like, he wasn't really grounded. He just wasn't allowed to hang out for like a second. But then he was like, oh, I want to hang out with her. So I went over like a couple days after and met his mom in real life.
So what did you say after?
She was just like, nice to meet you again. Like,
nice
we
to
made
meet
a
you with
joke
a shirt
about
on
it.
or something.
Okay, so you just moved on.
Yeah, we made a joke about it. She was never mean about it at all. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of like, she needs to go. Obviously, she's a mom. She's like, what is this girl doing in my son's bed?
Right.
Out. But she was nice about it. We just made a joke about it. And I think that when I met her, I think your sister was there. So I think that's when I met like some of your family, Jessica.
I don't remember her being there.
Because we had ravioli. Your mom made me that ravioli and everyone was
cracking
grilling me while I
jokes
was
at you.
sitting there because I was the only one eating.
Was it just Jess or was Sydney there?
No, it was just Jess and Vivi.
Okay.
So it was like, then they left. Like they were only there for a couple days. I don't know. I didn't meet Sydney until Christmas.
Okay.
So that was in July, and then I didn't meet rest of his family until Christmas because I spent Christmas with them.
Right. Okay. And so you have, which I love that you share, you have a sister with Down syndrome.
I do.
Was it a big deal for you to invite John over to meet her? And were you nervous? Like, is she going to like him? Is she not going to like him?
Sarah loves everyone usually. She definitely like treated John like a brother though.
Immediately?
Yeah, like right off the bat, which she doesn't get like that. So that was really special to me. I would say it was more like my mom, meeting my mom, because I lived with my mom at the time. So yeah, she was just like meeting my sister and my mom, and it's always a big deal when somebody comes to meet your family.
Yeah, every single time. Do you think with each other's families that you guys immediately hit it off? Or were there any weird vibes besides his mom walking in on you from the start?
So at first, once I found out that Allie was 17 and I told my mom that she was 17, my mom was like, no. She was like, jailbait, no. Which I know in some states, like a 2 years difference, it's not a big deal at all.
But in what state were you guys living
You were
in?
in New York.
We were in New York. I don't actually know what the role was.
I
so.
think it's like the Romeo and Juliet. Like as long as you're within 3 years, it doesn't matter if one's over the age of 18. That's what I looked into when I was trying to justify us dating.
Oh my gosh.
But my mom was like, no, like when she found out, she was 17. But then my mom loved Allie.
After she
my
met
mom
me.
loved Allie.
I don't know how
really
anyone
did.
couldn't. Like, and we'll get into that, just the massive amount of online hate that you guys get, because I don't get it. Like I said, I have been following you guys for so long and immediately liked you guys, felt like you guys were so real, so genuine. You don't seem to put on these weird fake influencer vibes that I feel like a lot of people do. So I don't really understand the whole cloud of hate, which yeah, we'll get into that. But like, when did you guys decide, hey, we can make a serious living off of influencing, which I hate that word, but like influencing, posting, affiliate links, all of this stuff. And how did you decide to go ahead and pursue that?
So I think that when I was in my first year of college, I got asked to like share a shirt. Like someone was going to send me a shirt for free and I was going to post it.
Yeah.
And I was like so excited, obviously. You're like, oh my God, I'm getting something for free. And this was like way back when. So it wasn't like influencing wasn't even really what it is now. Like people weren't doing that on Instagram. And after that, I started to get a couple more like trade type things. And then I had an agency reach out to me and ask me to do $75, give me $75 for a post. I think it was for like Teamy or something. And I was like, oh my God, yes, like this is so cool. Or you know what? It was like a nutrition shake or something. Like I don't even think they're around anymore.
Was
But-
it orange logo?
Yeah,
What was
310, 310.
310 Nutrition. I
Yes.
think they're around still.
Maybe they are. I haven't seen them in
They're around.
forever.
I
But
haven't either.
yeah, so I did that. And I don't know, it starts once you have like an agent reach out to you, especially. And once you have an agency like reach out to you, they'll kind of just start to bring you more deals. And that can happen from whether you're like represented by an agency or if, it's just like a bunch of different kind of PR agencies like reaching out. They'll keep you on a list. So they'll keep sending you stuff. And I honestly don't know when it was like a full transition. I used to do eyelash extensions. Like
I remember that.
Yeah.
When you
while
guys
I
lived in
was-
Nashville, right?
Yeah. While I was doing the Instagram stuff, John did like some deals, but you really like took it somewhere when we opened Strong and Sexy Fit.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. There are a lot of people that don't understand. It seems like you guys are really living this high roller life and they think you guys are just rolling in money and they don't understand where it comes from. So could you speak to that?
We definitely don't live a high roller.
Yeah, like we're by no means like we're not multimillionaires.
No.
You know what I mean? We're not. Yeah, we
There are people who do that from influencing, but
nice house and car, but we saved for those things.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, our primary source of income is Strong and Sexy Fit now.
Yeah, and that's your all's business that you have now.
Yeah, which
started as
thank
ebooks.
God we do, since Allie got canceled from doing posts.
So I
But
just don't do
yeah, it
anything
started
anymore.
off as ebooks in 2017, just fitness programs, and then obviously evolved into a supplement company, which is what it is today. But yeah, that's our primary source of income. Like I said, you know, I'm not going to get into specifics, but we're by no means, you know, multi-millionaires.
Yeah, you got to remember, we rented a house forever. We were in the Nashville market. Like, our house went up like $100,000
Right.
in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody in the Nashville market's like trying to sell their house right now. I mean, everyone in America, but especially the Nashville market. So, you know, we had one car forever. Like, we drove one vehicle. So we saved a lot of money.
Are you guys both savers, or one of you more of a spender than the other?
My spending's probably a little bit more sporadic than Allie's, but Allie's is more consistent. I did this the other day to Allie. I told Allie if she could go 30 days without ordering a package to the house, I would give her $10,000 in cash.
Oh my gosh.
I turned it down.
She turned it down.
Immediately. I was like, no.
She said no.
This is not worth it to me.
Yeah.
My boyfriend calls my apartment the FedEx store because I have so many packages coming in and out too.
All that.
So I get it. I totally get it.
She's so desensitized to it at this point. Like, she doesn't even open them, you know?
Okay, that is not true. I've got kids. I've got stuff going on. So if packages sit at the door for a couple of days, it's like, I'll get to it when I have a chance, because I really want to like relish in the moment of my new item that I've got.
Do you guys care about who has more Instagram followers, or, you know, more Instagram story viewers or anything like that? Do you get competitive about your followings?
With each other?
Yeah.
Oh, Allie's engagement is definitely better. Well, considering how many more followers you have, it's not.
But that's not, okay, but you got deleted.
I have
Instagram.
a couple times. Allie has as well.
I have too.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not really competitive between us.
There's sometimes healthy competition, like when we were both like around each other, but then I like blew past him and it's like,
Now it's not even
left
fair.
you in the trenches.
Loop giveaways.
Loop giveaways. You know, those are becoming really unpopular now.
Yeah.
People
They're
don't
saying
know.
her Instagram hates it, and they like hurt your engagement if you participate in those now.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that it really like hurts you, because I've definitely done some, like, I think I did one recently. I mean, one didn't hurt me. I think that it got mostly unpopular because it was like constant. It was every single person that you were clicking. They had like multiple going on at once. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, this is too much. And so I really, you know, I was doing them for a while, but definitely never like some of these girls were doing it. And I finally was like, I'm done. So if one of my friends asks me to do one every now and again because they need another person, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll jump in, whatever. But like, I definitely don't.
I know that you guys were really young when you got together, but had either of you had, I mean, any semblance of like a more serious relationship before each other? Or were you guys each other's first big love?
We both had
I think we
relationships
both had a
before.
big relationship before.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. I was in a 2-year relationship in high school. I've always had girlfriends. I've never been like much of one to be single. I liked having a girlfriend always.
All right, so I had to go on this like deep dive of the internet. I mean, to read and look at all of this stuff that people have accused you of, allege against you guys. And I mean, honestly, you would think that you guys were like in a mob family, the way they talk about, you know, all your alleged crimes, which I don't understand. So I went through and I have found pretty much, I think, most of every single big allegation, rumor, things that people want to know about you guys, have accused you guys of. So I'm just going to go through this and ask you guys about all of this. And this is your chance really to speak to all of these haters that have talked crap about you, honestly, and troll your family. So one of the first things is, and this is not necessarily an accusation, but just an observation that people don't like. They say that your all's house is too messy. They are aggravated that as influencers, you guys don't curate your posts enough, that you guys aren't super well put together all the time, hair, makeup, perfect outfits. Your kids aren't, you know, always perfect looking every single time they see you. Is that fair for people to criticize you guys of that?
Those people are living in a fantasy world, because nobody's house, especially with children, house is put together all the time. Does no one live in that house? Your house is going to look like somebody lives in it. I mean, my kids, from the second they wake up, they're getting breakfast, food all over the place. Yeah. Toys are getting ripped out again. I'm not going to get ready every day. Like, I have no reason to get ready every day. If I, you know, am leaving the house or have something going on, yeah, I'm going to hair, makeup,
I'm
whatever.
the same way. I do not put makeup on or anything. If I have a few days off, I'll go out, I'll run errands, everything, and I put my hair in a messy bun because look how we have to do so much hair and makeup every single day when I'm on camera. I enjoy that when I don't have to do it.
I also, I am not going to paint this picture that this is this perfect life. A curated feed, I've tried to do a curated feed before. I end up hating it. It's so time consuming.
Yeah.
People who have this just perfect put together Instagram life, they are pre-recording their things. They're not getting ready every day. They just show you clips from only when they're ready. And yeah, some people do that and that's their brand, but that's not my brand. My brand is that I'm literally just a mom who works from home and my house is a mess. Sorry, yeah, I clean it up, but it's not going to stay clean for very long.
Does it bother you, John, when people say that you guys are messy or a dirty family?
I'd say with all the other accusations, that is one that's just
pales in comparison.
Yeah, okay, you got me. I'm messy. My house isn't always the cleanest. I'm not posting a story of me in the backyard cutting my grass after, you know what I mean? I don't care. I find people who do very composed stories and post on Instagram. It is so cringy to me.
It's nauseating to me too.
It is so cringy to be you care this much. Not to say you shouldn't take care of yourself, obviously, but who are you really doing it for at that point? It's a little extra.
Also,
for me.
are you really going to tell somebody that they don't take care of themselves or their house? Are you in my house every day, all day? No. You see, even if I had 100 clips or 99, because that's the max that they'll let you do, you get 15 seconds of that. That's less than, I can't do the math on the spot, but that is less than 15, 20 minutes a day.
What was the first big scandal that happened where you guys realized, okay, wow, there are a lot of people online that hate us?
First thing. God, there's been so many. Alex, you're gonna think I'm sounding dramatic.
Family drama.
Was the family drama the stuff that really kicked it off? There was the Becca thing with the shaving.
What's the Becca thing with the shaving?
This is so funny to me too. This is so ironic now. If I get in trouble for saying this, you can just cut it. But there was this girl. What was she on? The Bachelor or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
Becca. She doesn't shave.
Rika.
Martinez.
I didn't know who she was.
Yes.
Didn't know who she was,
yes.
But I saw a post, which I was unaware at the time that we had the scope of influence we did. Because when I did these stories, I didn't include her face or anything. It was a clip of her leg.
When I tell you, if this was her leg, it was this much. You couldn't, but you want to know why everyone knew it was her? Because she doesn't shave, and everybody knows that.
I know exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Anyone that is a fan of Bachelor Nation, you know that Becca Martinez girl, because I talked about her on POPLITICS. I cannot stand, my most hated Bachelor Nation people for me are Rachel Lindsay, the Becca Martinez girl, and then, oh gosh, who's the other person? Shoot, I'm blanking. But anyway, recently in a POPLITICS episode, I had discussed this. And she is this, she's very left-leaning, your stereotypical feminist type that is very proud to not shave at all. She is full arms out, you could braid her armpit hair type of girl.
And so I saw that, and I saw that this was she posted or said something in some major news article, did a post about this is the epitome of feminism, and she's a hero for this. And you know what? Maybe I didn't have a good reason to be bothered by it, but it bothered me because I was like, "This is pathetic."
Right.
That this is where we're setting the scope of achievements. You didn't shave your legs. You're a hero. You're a feminist. Congrats. So all I did is did a post of her leg, and I said, "I'm sorry, but you're not a hero for this. This isn't a representation of female empowerment. This to me, honestly, is laziness." Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
And maybe I was wrong in saying that.
Nah, I don't think you were.
Well, you know what? She found it, tagged me in her stories, freaked out.
She definitely is the one that
took the nth degree.
Yeah, it was a whole thing then, and you know how that is. It is like a cult. So they will latch on to you, attack you, and they will never leave.
Started ripping us apart, and I actually, sometime after the fact, apologized to her, messaged her and said sorry, to which she accepted my apology. And then I want to say last year, this is the same human being that comes out and says that while she's having sex, she likes to breastfeed.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, there you go.
Right.
These are the type of people.
Well,
these are the types of people.
Okay, so just to paint an example of how bad it was when that happened, I was pregnant with Emmy at the time. And I was like 6 months pregnant, and her like fans were saying that they hope I miscarried my child. They wanted my child to die because John said that she had hairy legs and doesn't shave.
It's deranged.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And I told her that. I was like, honestly, I hope that you know that this, because you wanted to start something about this, this is what this led to. Your little people are saying that they want my child to miscarry. And it wasn't like 1 or 2 people. It was like the masses, like hundreds of DMs from these people. And she was just like, well, that's not my, like, she basically just said, that's not my fault. Well, it is.
Sorry.
Okay, like.
Sorry.
So that was probably like a big drama.
Maybe it was of my own doing. I don't think it warranted the response that we got, but yeah, it was definitely immature of me to make the comments, and probably out of place, but I was just so perplexed because we were kind of in the beginning of this massive leftist movement.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of just like culture shock to me. I'm like, this is where we are, which nowadays, God forbid, I would never address anything like that. But back then it was just like, what is this? You know?
Yeah.
Do you guys read the stuff that people post about yourselves?
So in 2020, spring of 2020, I made a commitment to myself, like, to stop checking our hate pages. I was like, you cannot do this anymore, because it was taking up so much of my time, and I was a new mom, and I was like, this is so unhealthy. Like, when you're a new mom, you're like, well, after you have a baby at all, you're so fragile. You like are unsure of yourself. You like don't know if you're doing everything right. And, you know, I was definitely having like some postpartum anxiety, which I didn't even know was a thing. But looking at the things that people would say about us just made it even worse. And that's not to say that they don't still, you know, climb into our DMs and like send us specific things that they'll say. But I just immediately hit the block button now because they're literally not worth my time.
We are so block happy now.
Yeah, I don't.
Same.
I don't care. If you message something that is even passive aggressive towards me,
Bye.
Okay, goodbye. And 9 out of 10 times you look at that passive aggressive message and you scroll up, they've been doing it for years.
It's
For
obsession.
years.
Yeah.
It is. It's very odd.
One theory that people have is that one or both of you guys have made fake accounts before to comment on different threads online to defend yourselves from attackers. What is the truth?
I don't think we've ever.
I would put that on anything. It's like that Justin Bieber song, I live my life right by the source.
I live my life from the source.
I don't need to hear your perspective on things that are untrue.
No,
like, I don't need to hear it.
That's kind of how we feel about it. We're like, we know, because like we are living our life in first person, you saying all these things about me online isn't going to make them true, and it's not going to make me stop to have to defend something that's not true. So I can't ever recall a time where I've made a fake account to engage. I might have like looked at things, but I'm not engaging with these people.
You guys have actually had CPS called on you multiple times. What the heck was that about?
So twice.
Twice is how many times they showed up to the house, Allie. I'm sure they've been called 5+ times. I'm sure they've been called 5+ times.
Maybe.
But
I mean,
showed up to the house
from
twice.
what I know, they were required if a report comes in, they're required to check on it. So
But why was CPS even called? Why were there reports made? What were they alleging against you about your children?
So the first time was on Easter, Emmy was wearing like a bunny outfit. And when your child is, this is getting a little graphic, but when your child is having blowouts in their diaper, you have to size up one. So even if it's not their real diaper size, you have to go up a size. So she was wearing a diaper that was one size too big. And so the way that the photo was, and I can show you this photo, it was like her suit, it was a onesie. So the diaper was kind of like, looked puffy because it was a bigger diaper. Granted, I'm sure she had peed in it because that's what babies do. But we posted a photo, and they were immediately, we were like getting comments like, her diaper is too full. You need to change her diapers. Poor baby. Like all this stuff. So we didn't think anything of it at the time. We were just like deleting the comments. Like, oh yeah, okay, her diaper, whatever. So then a couple days later, CPS came to our house and was like, we had a report that a child is sitting in dirty diapers. So immediately it was like a light bulb went off. And I was like, what?
And is being left unattended on countertops?
No, that was the second time. So John actually, this was right when the pandemic started. John was at the grocery store standing in line to get groceries and formula. Like, we're trying to get stuff for our family. because we have no idea what we're in for. And I get this knock on my door, no idea, a woman with a clipboard and a badge. She says that she's from Child Protective Services. She's coming to check on a child who's been sitting in dirty diapers. And I start sobbing like off the bat because I'm like so confused. And like I said, I'm a new mom. Like, so I'm just like, what did I do wrong? Immediately questioning everything. But when I realized that it was like a dirty diaper thing and I went back to that Instagram, I was like, this is what it is. I pulled up the Instagram photo. I showed her our hate pages. My mom's an attorney, so I called my mom immediately because I was like, I don't know how to handle this. She wanted to see where my child slept, look in my fridge, see my child, and have to take a photo of her. It was so invasive. I was like shaking. And it caused so many problems. Like just everything I was doing from that point on, I was like, we need to be careful. Like, I don't want somebody to call about this. I don't want somebody to do this. Like, I was just on a 12 and people would be like, you need to relax. You're doing nothing wrong. And so the second time, it was around Christmas. I actually think it was the day before Emmy's first birthday. They said that they needed to check on a child who had a bump on their head because she was left unattended and fell either from a counter, or I want to say it involved the Christmas tree
in some way.
It was like she was climbing the Christmas tree and fell. I think that's what it was. It was so stupid that I was like, no. Like, I was like, we've already done this. Like, you can't come in. I'm sorry, this isn't against you personally, but I'm not doing this.
You can tell someone from CPS who's coming to check on your kids, they're not allowed in?
No, they don't have a warrant to come into your home.
Oh.
So the first time I didn't know that, and obviously I'm like scared. I'm like, I think they need to come in and stuff. Second time I was like, I'm not doing this with you guys. Like, this is so ridiculous that this is from random people on the internet. And I know people were like trying to speculate and be like, it was somebody who knows you. Guys, this was random people on the internet.
Yeah, it was 100%
yeah, like
not
it was
family
random people on the internet.
It was not.
So, I mean, they know that we've like worked on pressing charges and stuff. So
how did that feel, just knowing that these random people were able to send a woman to your house, accuse you of child abuse? Why even post any more of your kids at that point? Because I feel like I'd be like, I'm done.
Infuriating. You have no idea. Like, as a man especially, you know, who's supposed to like protect his family from things of that nature. It's like we live in this digital age where people aren't held accountable for online harassment, because that is full-blown harassment. And it's not someone I can go and confront. It's not something that I can even prove who it is. So I felt powerless, and it was so incredibly infuriating because, mind you, we're in the midst of dealing with that after having a fallout with our family, trying to navigate, becoming parents entirely by ourselves. And to add insult to injury, we're also having to deal with harassment on a scope that people really can't imagine. You might look from the outside and, we get messages when we talk about it being like, that's horrible. But like, I'll give you an example. My brand signed an ambassador. And within a day of her signing with us, she started getting harassed. She broke down. Like, it was so hard for her. She broke down and reached out to us and was like crying, was like, I don't think I can do this. They're threatening to come to the gym that I work out at, to that degree. And I felt so bad for her, and I felt so much compassion for her. But I was thinking to myself, this girl has no idea. This girl has no idea what it's like living on a day-to-day basis, where I see people outside the house and one of my first thoughts is like, is this Child Protective Service? Or someone's driving down the road and they're looking at us while we're outside a little too intensely. I'm like, okay, like, who is this? We're low-key a little bit paranoid all the time.
I would be too.
Definitely paranoid. I mean, the reason that we continue to share our kids is because why are you going to let people who are just trying to bring you down, do just that? Like, this is my family. This is my life. For me I know some people don't share their kids, but for me, that's silly. Like, I'm with them every day. I'm obviously going to share them.
Are you scared that one day your daughters are going to be old enough to be like, Mom, why did CPS come and check on us, and that you're going to have to explain all this?
Not at all. All of this has truly, Alex, it has made us so much closer as a family unit. Like, that's the God's honest truth. we've been through so much together. We've been put through the ringer that no, I'm open to having that conversation with Emerson or Callahan one day, when they're old enough to understand what we went through, and explain to them that we were never bullied into submission. And I genuinely think that's a big part of the amount of trolling that we receive is like, we don't give up. We're not going to be bullied into submission, and we're not going to be silenced. We're not going to not share our family, our views, or different beliefs that we have because people disagree with them and want to, do things. So no, it really has brought us so much closer.
And this is funny because my mom actually, I guess, and I didn't know this until I had Child Protective Services come to my house because it was just something that my mom was like, oh, this happened to me.
What?
Yeah, I grabbed my mom's curling iron when I was 2, I think I was 2, and had a burn. And so my mom immediately took me to the doctor, obviously. Well, it was required that if there was a burn or like there was certain requirements, the doctor had to report it for a child checkup. So they came to my house. My mom was like, obviously it was like the most uncomfortable thing. She was really able to like empathize with me and like what I went through. But yeah, like I didn't know about it. Am I like, oh my God, Mom, am I like judge you ever? No, like
yeah.
I know people whose kid have grabbed their curling iron. Like, thank God, that's something that I'm always so scared about.
Yeah. There are 2 types of people in this world, those that like their eggs cooked on a clean pan and those that like their eggs cooked in bacon grease. Your mouth is already watering, I know it. Personally, I'm a bacon grease egg kind of gal, and lately I've been obsessed with bacon from MOINK. That's Moo plus Oink. They're a meat subscription company that gets their fresh, sustainably sourced meat and fish from small farms all across America. You customize your box that gets shipped right to your door, and one thing they do that is super unique is they send your meat with this gorgeous magazine with recipes and ideas that you can do with your MOINK box. It's like Bacon Vogue. I love to see it, and I know you will too. Get access to the highest quality meat on earth and keep America farming by signing up at moinkbox.com/spillover now, and Cute Conservatives will get free filet mignon for a year, but only for a limited time. That's MOINK box.com/spillover. That's moinkbox.com/spillover. Has it ever crossed your mind that maybe could it be, one of your estranged family members that's participating in these hate threads online? Or are you like, no way, they would never do that at least. It's definitely strangers.
I know it's not them because I know when a lot of it was going down, they thought it was me doing it.
About yourself?
About everybody. When like the fallout first happened between us and then, the different pages and whatnot came up, there was like a conversation I had with Sydney, I think, after not talking to her for quite some time.
And Sydney there's 3 siblings. Yeah. There's Jesse is the oldest. Yep. And then is it Sydney and then you?
Yeah. And I had a conversation with Sydney and she was like, why are you saying these things on there? And I'm like, dude, you remember this being like, what are you talking about?
I remember.
They're saying terrible things about us. Why would I be creating the terrible things? So I genuinely don't think that they would, like, despite, having some disagreements. It's evil. Those things are evil. Yeah. There's a difference between doing things that are mean or out of jealousy or anger, but those things are evil.
I'm telling you right now, and I am reading celebrity gossip pages and I'm reading Twitter fandoms and all. I'm doing this stuff all day long. This is my job, is to know this stuff. I have never seen a darker place on the internet than the message boards and groups and whatever dedicated to hating you two. It is so vile. I genuinely started feeling physically ill reading it to prepare for this podcast. I told one of my producers, I said, guys, this is so bad. And I'm just an outsider, like, reading it. I cannot imagine being you guys some days.
I have had people tell me that they have left groups and gone to therapy because it made them turn into such a dark person, not even like just in the groups, but like in their outside life. Like,
you're kidding.
They were in the groups and afterwards they felt like they needed therapy because of it. And they have gone to therapy. And that's not just one person. It's not just 2 people. I can think of 3 specific different conversations, but I know it's happened more than that. And it's sad. That's part of the reason why I committed to myself, like, you will not go on any of these pages or anything. Like, you will not look into this stuff because, just like you said, like, it is the darkest place on the internet. It really is. You couldn't convince me. You could not convince me.
I mean, Alex,
Definitely.
we had crap mailed to our house less than 10 days ago.
We
Animal
had poop
crap.
mailed to our house.
You're joking me.
Nope.
Dead
to our
serious in a
house.
Ziploc bag.
And
That's
you know what I have to
disgusting.
do, Alex? Laugh.
Yeah,
Because
we
you
just
want to know
laughed. We're
something?
like, okay.
What else can I do? Look into whether or not we can sue them. Okay, well, the U.S. government already has an open lawsuit against the company that's doing this.
Yeah, it
You
says
know.
that
I'm
they're
sorry,
like
what?
subpoenaing
There's
everything.
there's a company sending literal to people's houses?
Came
Yes.
to our house, yep.
I think it's called like poop senders.
But whose poop is it?
Animal.
It's actually animal poop.
Okay.
They can pick different animal poop. And I mean, who knows if that's actually what it is. We obviously didn't open the Ziploc bag that it came in. But yeah, we like looked into it. And they already have like an open case with the U.S. government. And they're like
We had
subpoenaing all the
that.
purchases and everything. So
The week before that, within 2 days, we had Domino's pizzas at our house.
twice. That
Twice.
was like for delivery pay at the door.
No, that's super scary because you know how I would take that? People think, oh, that's just nice. Somebody's treating you to pizza. No, to me, I see that
That's
as a
a
very
threat.
passive aggressive threat. I know
Yes.
where you live. That's
know.
how I would.
That's
take it.
100% what it is.
Yeah.
You know, that's 100% what it is, which it's not as aggressive, but Alex, it makes
I
me
hope you
so
guys
mad
have
thinking
loads of
about it.
firearms.
Oh, we do.
I paused and didn't say what I was gonna say, but that's exactly what I was
Good.
thinking. Come to my
Good.
house. Come to
Yeah.
my house.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
say, like,
please.
you do not strike me, John, in any way, shape, or form as like a beta soy boy type. Like, I wouldn't want to F with you guys. I'm just saying, like,
John
So
is
that's
like
good.
another level of okay, obviously not to like the troll stuff. He honestly could care less about that. But if there's like a direct situation, he is like another level of protective.
good.
I mean, it's a great quality to have. It's very attractive.
I think that people, see me put on wigs and troll my trolls and think that like I wouldn't take it to that place if something happened. But like I promise you I would.
So-
Don't let the wigs fool you.
Some of the other
Don't let
things.
the wigs fool you.
All right, so I want to try to go through these as quick as possible. All right, so for some reason, this is some kind of point of contention with you guys. Do you have someone who cleans your house? I don't know why
Yeah,
this
we
is.
have a housekeeper that comes once a
Okay,
week.
I don't know why this is controversial. I don't
I'm
understand.
pretty sure I
it.
say that like all the time.
Okay, that's what I thought. Allie, you once described yourself on Instagram as unempathetic. Did you actually mean that?
Unempathetic in the sense that I like if John is upset about something, sometimes I just like don't. What is the word? What do you always say to me?
I think this isn't the context of this is in regard to people who would say like mean and aggressive things towards us or you. And rather than you feeling bad for them or being like, it's okay because they're going through a hard time, you weren't empathetic towards them. I think that's what
Yeah.
the context of this is regarding. And I agree with that. When people are rude and mean and aggressive towards you, like,
yeah.
do you say, oh, well, it's okay because
And I'm definitely a tough love kind of person.
Yeah.
Like if something's going on in your life that you can actively change because you can make a choice to change something, but you're just complaining about it, I'm just not like, poor you, I'm not going to sulk with you. Like
Right.
I'm like, let's fix the situation. So I think that's what it was.
Okay. Did you guys ever fire your housekeeper for using your forks?
Did we fire them? I don't think we did.
we never did fire them.
No, they just
Nope.
used our forks. Well, here's what happened. They sat down randomly. They never do this, and had lunch and like used our bowls and our forks and everything,
Didn't wash
and like
any of them.
Oh, that I would fire
and
them
everything
too.
was like in the sink.
But
if you didn't
genuinely, we
wash it, I
didn't
wouldn't
fire
care.
them.
Well, I
Yeah.
wouldn't care. First of all, if someone's cleaning my house or whatever, I don't care what you do. Use my toilet, make yourself lunch, whatever. But then you're there to clean, so don't leave a mess.
That and like I'm just a little bit weird. Like no one comes into my house to use any of my like eating utensils. that
Allie's
my
a
personal
germaphobe.
family is using.
People don't know that about
I
Allie.
am. Well,
Allie's a
I
germaphobe.
said it, but like I don't like wet floors. Really gross me out. Like public restrooms. I took Emmy to the restroom at the soccer field the other day, and I said to her, "Emmy, this is disgusting. Do you actually want to go potty in here?" And she said, "No, it's disgusting."
Disgusting.
Yeah, it was so
I was
cute.
like, "It's okay. We can go at home." And so she was like, "Okay." So, yeah, I just no.
People have also accused you guys of abusing or neglecting your dogs. So
all the freaking time. It's so ridiculous.
What's up with that?
Okay, we have two children that eat food, human food. Dogs can't eat human food. It's not always good for them. So when the children are eating, we'll put the dogs in their crate. This is a custom crate. This
It
crate
is
cost
massive.
about $2,000 in 2017, which is like $65,000 in present day
True.
money. Okay.
And
So-
with President Biden, yeah, It is
Exactly.
$65,000 now.
So in addition to that, dogs are crate trained. They look at their
yeah.
crate as their home. They like being in there. It's how they become potty trained. You know, they're den animals. They like being in their crate. So yes, occasionally our dogs are in a crate, and because of that, we're abusive.
And because they don't like that Charlie has shaggy, like, homeless dog fur, but that's because that is Charlie's fur. Like, I'm sorry, but Charlie, not beautifully put together like Blue. Fur is not meant for that.
Have either of you ever cheated on the other?
John's cheated on me.
In college, I cheated on Allie. It's not an excuse at all. But again, like,
it's so long ago. It's like we were
alcohol involved, weed involved. I, at that point, didn't think that I was going to be with Allie forever. When I did cheat on Allie, I told her immediately. It wasn't kept it a secret, and she told her. I called her and told her immediately. Doesn't justify it. I would never condone cheating in any fashion. But yes, that did happen in college.
Was it hard for you to get over that with him and trust him again, or no, it took a while, or it was easy?
You know, I went in 2 relationships with, like, being cheated on a lot, and I think with John, I was trying to figure out if it was going to be, like, a cycle. Like, is this going to be a recurring thing? But it wasn't. And I just knew that, like, the fact that he told me right away, and it definitely took, like, building trust up again. But granted, we were, like, so early in our dating, and he was away at college, like 1,000 miles away. Like, we kind of thought it was going to be a spring fling or a summer fling, and it wasn't. So it was hard at the time, but, like, God, I would never in a million years worry about this man stepping out on me. Like,
he seems pretty obsessed with you to me.
Not even on my mind.
So it's not an excuse for any of it, though. Like, nothing that you just said is an excuse.
I know, but it's just it's so long ago now. It's silly to even think about.
And I feel like the context of not being married, young, dating in college.
We're dating, like, I'm talking, like, we're less than 6 months dating. Like, we only were together for, like, 30 days in person. It just was all so, like, silly. Like, were we even going to be together? Who knew?
John, some say that you can be, or have accused you of being, like, controlling and judgmental of other women's bodies. Specifically, you have said that you never want Allie to fix her post-baby body. So my question is actually for Allie, and that is, do you think that one day in the future, maybe you will change your mind? You think, okay, I do want to get a mommy makeover or some sort of, you know, body makeover or whatever. And do you feel like you won't be able to do that because John had said this?
Oh, God, no. I think that that's taken completely out of context. I think that John just, like, really is accepting and, like, helps me to love my body because he loves me for me, and, like, my body going through changes. Like, I housed our children, I grew our children. Like, he's so grateful for that. So I think that that's taken completely out of context. But I have implants, and him and I have talked about on so many occasions, like, obviously I'm going to have to get my boobs redone at some point. And I probably will. Well, it kind of depends. Like, I probably will get some lasers at the minimum for my stretch marks. I just have a lot of stretch marks now. I don't ever foresee myself going through, like, a tummy tuck or anything like that. I'm not, like, a huge believer in, like, just surgery to, like, fix things that you can fix. So, like, obviously I can't fix stretch marks, but, like, I can lose weight myself. So I'm not trying to, you know, depends on, like, if I have all this saggy skin, maybe we would talk about it, but I don't see that happening. And if I did decide to do that, I'm not worried about him being like, no, because he doesn't care.
In which case, you would definitely never do it and tell everyone that you exercise to look that way.
Never. I've always said,
big thing.
And I say that now. I'm like, if I ever get anything done, whether it's just a laser or something more, I will be honest about it. Like,
yeah,
I just don't care to lie.
How does it feel when people say that your youngest daughter, Callie, seems underdeveloped or malnourished?
I think they've said that about both of our kids.
They said that about. At first, it was terrible because I would literally say things to Allie like, does she weigh enough? You know, you don't know because you're a new parent, but, like, we're on our second child now. Now I'm confident enough to just be like, off. You'll have to edit this.
Well, it's all right. We'll beep it.
Yeah, you'll have to. But but at first it was infuriating and it was scary. I'm like, are we doing this wrong? Because I don't have mommy to call on the phone and be like, hey, is she okay? You know what I mean? And
are you talking about your mom specifically while y'all weren't talking?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could have called yours. I think we probably
I'm
did.
sure we did. We call my mom for like all the time for random stuff like that. But do I care? Not at all. Like, obviously my kids go to the doctor. Your kids, when you have babies, they go to the doctor like all the time. If my doctor was concerned, she would say something.
Never has been.
Not a single time.
Oh.
Will you guys ever have a wedding? What is really the holdup? People think that you guys are actually, you know, planning your separation, which is why you're not getting married.
This is the first time hearing it for us, too. This is the first time hearing it for two. Well, first off, she got pregnant twice. That kind of puts a damper on our ability to get married. A pandemic happened, so there's reasons 3 and 4 why we didn't get married. We are actively trying to plan a wedding now and set an actual date.
I think I have a date that I want. I think I have a location that I want.
For 2022?
This year, yeah.
Oh?
We keep saying we want to do it this
Alex,
year.
you're invited.
Am I really?
Yeah,
Of course,
come on.
Oh my gosh,
Girl,
stop. I will literally die. I mean, I would just be so honored.
Yes, please come. No, seriously.
I know for a fact that you and my boyfriend would get along so well.
Sure we would. I was going to ask you if you had a boyfriend. You do?
Yes, I do. And yeah, I know you guys would get along. You guys remind me of each other so much. Like, same personality.
Really?
Yes, he's just as silly and outgoing as you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll happen this year. I mean, God, unless another pandemic happens.
Right.
Who knows?
Please no.
Don't say that.
Please no.
Okay, so you guys are openly conservative, which I really love. How has that affected you guys as influencers, seeing, you know, obviously it's not popular to have conservative beliefs?
We definitely get trolled for it, significantly trolled for it. You know, the left in general has made a big push for like closet conservatism, where, you know, if you're a conservative, you better keep it hush hush, or you're racist, you are, you know, all the negative things that go hand in hand with being a conservative, right?
So, and here's the thing, and I said this earlier, I think that, you know, you can't really go after somebody and say, well, I don't like them because they're conservative. You just can't really do that. That's not going to like fly with people. So I think that what happens is they don't like us because we're conservative, and then they have to like reach into all the other spots. So now we're racist and we're homophobic, and apparently I make fun of people with disabilities.
Which
when
blows
my younger
my mind.
sister has a disability, so I just don't even understand that one. But like they'll just reach into all the areas to try and have something to come after you for. And anything that they can leech onto, that's what they're going to hold and keep doing it against you. And I'm actually positive that that's what a lot of it stems from, because somebody who like was in charge of one of our hate pages at one point, she like told me, she was like, well, I'm conservative and like I don't agree with the stuff that they say, and like it's kind of hard because I'm put in the middle. So it's like, yeah, it's just
a lot of it is they hate the fact that we're conservative, so they make it about other things, because you can't just say I hate them about, you know, because they're conservative. But on that same token, people support us so strongly because we're conservative. Like when I've had conservative ideologies that I'd share taken down from Instagram, I would get on Instagram and I would talk about the fact that they got taken down and make like a coupon code for Strong and Sexy Fit that's related to, if you're a conservative, use this. And people, the outpour of support. You know, so
conservatives do want to support
they
other
really
conservative
do.
brands.
They really do. They really do.
Allie, you brought up your sister. Why is advocating for life so near and dear to your heart?
Because my younger sister has Down syndrome, and I just like terminating a pregnancy for a reason at all. Like there's just no reason to terminate it. Like you're going to love your baby no matter what. And that's my sister, and I love my sister no matter what. Is she different? Yes. But like we have such a strong relationship, and I'm just such a firm believer. I mean, my thing is like I know people who have had abortions before and they always regret it, from what I know. But it doesn't make you a bad person. You just need to change your mindset. Like, that's just the way I look at it. Like, every baby can be loved, and every baby's going to love you back no matter what.
That's true. How does it feel when you hear about other countries who have, I mean, like a 99% rate of babies with Down syndrome being aborted? I mean, there are some countries where hardly anyone with Down syndrome even exists.
It's sad to me. Like, Sarah's so special.
Sarah, the death, I genuinely think there's a disconnect. I don't think people understand. I'm not saying this to say this. There's been times when I've been like in emotional turmoil and I have talked to Sarah about it. Sarah understands. She's cognitive. She offers advice,
Loving.
so loving, silly, funny, can get under my skin like nobody else. Like, will troll me sometimes. And
Does
it's
she
just
ever-
like, oh.
Does she ever come stay with you guys and the girls in Houston like by herself, or does she need to be with your mom always?
No, she actually lives by herself in an apartment.
Oh, cool.
It's an assisted living. There's always somebody like in the basement. It's got different floors. So there is somebody there if there was like a problem. But she has a roommate. She lives by herself. She like takes care of herself entirely, cooks, all that. She has come to stay with us in Nashville, but she hasn't made it to Texas yet. She lives in New York. They have all these like weird rules about where you can travel and stuff. And she lives in housing that's like provided by the state disability thing. So she has to abide by their rules.
To your trolls who are listening right now, which some are.
1,000,000%. Hello,
100%.
ladies.
They will all watch this. They will
From your
they will all
basements.
watch this. Yeah, under your bridges.
What do you want to say to them?
You go first.
God, I've never even thought of what I would say to them because they're so far removed. I don't know. Find something better. If you are this dedicated to me and my family, you can be dedicated to something that's going to make you money, make you happy. There's no way that hating my family this much and putting that much dedication to it brings positivity into your life. So
I guess I would just say, in some ways, genuinely thank you. Because as much as the drive to be successful is a motivating factor, me never wanting to lose to these people who have put my family through awful things drives me to want to be a better dad, a better husband, more successful than anything. So thank you for pushing me to be my best self. And also, like I've said on Instagram a million times, like, you will never stop us. You will never stop us. We have been through the ringer through all of this, and we will never let you beat our family.
Talk about your business, your supplement company, Strong and Sexy Fit. What do you sell? What's so special about this supplement company? Why should people buy it?
I love Strong and Sexy Fit. So we started Strong and Sexy Fit, I think I mentioned, in 2017 as a fitness company selling ebooks. One of our really I just keep spinning in the chair. It's going to be so distracting.
It's just like comfortable too.
Stop.
One of our most popular guides was the intermittent fasting guide, which basically taught people how to intermittent fast. It was wildly successful. I kind of grew up in the supplement era, right? So like when I was in high school is when pre-workouts started coming out and getting really mainstream and popular. So I was always fascinated by supplements. I managed a GNC for a couple years and kind of got in touch with what people liked, what people didn't like, what worked, what didn't work. And then in 2020, we launched our first product, which was our fat burner. And the whole concept behind Strong and Sexy Fit is full disclosure labels, which I'm sure you've heard me say on Instagram before. Mm-hmm. We don't do any proprietary blends. You know exactly what you're getting in every single product that you're taking, and they're strong, effective formulas. People make the joke often that I never graduated college, which you're correct. I didn't. And I
didn't either.
Did you not?
Really?
No, neither did Charlie Kirk.
Really?
Wow.
I make the joke, well, Elon Musk didn't go to school for rocket engineering, but he owns.
All the best people didn't go to college.
Honestly,
you know?
I hate to say that, but in a lot of ways it's true. But I did hire some of the best formulators to help me work on these products as well. So I'm not pulling out these formulas off of other companies' labels or out of my back pocket. I worked with some really big members in the supplement industry to create these products. So they work extremely well. And the reality is my contract manufacturer, he actually owns a supplement company himself, and it is wildly successful. And he recently became a partner with Strong and Sexy Fit. He actually bought equity for my company. I don't know if I'm supposed to be sharing all this. He wants to remain anonymous because he knows how crazy our trolls are.
Yes.
Good for him. He's smart.
He knows how crazy our trolls are, so he wants to remain anonymous. But his brand is like front and center GNC right now. Like his brand is blowing up, and he sees so much potential in Strong and Sexy Fit that he's going to help us navigate the retail side of things. So hopefully we will be in some stores at the end of the year. But speaking on our formulas specifically, there's a huge disconnect between people who are in the supplement industry and people who aren't. All the processes and steps that take place with quality control it's so extensive. People have no idea. People think I just get on Instagram and like tell you to buy a product. You have no idea the work involved of making something that works as effective as our products really do. The quality control protocols that my contract manufacturer follow are to a T. And because of that, our products, people who even hate us, we said this on the other podcast we did, love our products.
Really?
Yes. Trolls who will buy our products with the intentions of returning them or filing fraud will try them and they will get hooked. They'll love the products.
yeah.
That's the greatest compliment we
keep
ever
buying.
received. We have literal trolls who buy my products.
Who is the
consistently.
ideal candidate for using your all supplements?
We have a wide range. We started off in 2020 with just a fat burner. We now have a non-stim fat burner. We have Goddess hormone support product. We have collagen. We have a greens formula. We are working on a nightcap, which I'm stoked.
Ooh.
This
So
formula
good.
is amazing. This formula is amazing. We do not spare expense for our products. We could have way less quality ingredients and our margins would be way better, but we genuinely put great patented ingredients in our products. This nightcap product is going to be amazing. Goddess hormone support has been amazing for a variety of reasons. So who could use the products? If you're struggling with hormonal balances, if you want to lose some extra weight, if you want to replace your energy drink in the morning that's got Red 40 in it and need something to give you some more energy throughout the day. If you want thicker hair, skin, nails. Yeah, the collagen is amazing. I've been sold out of it for like 6 weeks. I've been sold out of it. I'm getting harassed right now.
What?
The people are like, when is the collagen back? When is the collagen back?
Yeah,
And
where can we find this stuff? What's the website?
it is strongandsexy.fit. Yeah, strongandsexy.fit. Yeah, we have
Okay,
great
great.
products and yeah, we'll be restocking a lot of them here soon once we get supply chain issues sorted out.
Thanks, President Biden. John, you've said that you want to stay away from commenting on your relationship with your sister, Jesse James Decker. However, shortly after this huge public falling out and, you know, all I know is something happened. Basically, for those that don't know, something happened, which is what you guys kind of keep private, where basically Jesse's family, your mom for a little bit, and Allie, like you guys totally went estranged and then don't speak to each other anymore because of this big fight. And shortly after this, a stranger DM'd you wanting to know what happened. You gave vague details, but at least a little bit of details. And, you know, you have to know that anything you guys share, somebody can screenshot and share that publicly. So do you feel like in the moment you were just like, I want this to get out. I want there to be a little bit of the truth out at least so that people stop blaming Allie and I?
I don't know that we ever got blamed. I think people just wanted to know what happened.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think we got blamed either. And I don't even think like when it was happening, my mindset was, I want the truth to come out. I think really what it came down to, Alex, was, we were navigating all the other crap that we just mentioned before this. In addition to that, trying to navigate parenthood. And I was doing that entirely alone. And I was so angry.
When you received this DM asking what happened?
Not even from the DM, just in general. I was so angry from what happened. I still am. When Allie mentioned that like this might come up on the podcast, like ask her how my mood changed that night. I was in like such a stressed, anxious state because it was probably like the hardest period of my life ever, going through all of that.
As of right now, where do you stand with your relationship with Jesse?
I don't talk to her at all.
All right, so never before in the spillover history have we ever had a guest come back on to kind of give some more tea, because there has been serious updates between the time that we actually recorded the episode and then the time that the episode is being released. So the whole first part of the interview that you just heard, for Cute Conservatives listening, that was all recorded in early April. And so there have been significant updates in the last week for Allie and John. So welcome Allie and John back on the spillover. Hi guys.
How's it going?
So this is crazy. Tell us what all has gone down in the last week? So what you had told us when it came to your family was you just really weren't optimistic that there would ever be reconciliation, but then something went down on Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah. By the grace of God, and I really feel that way because, when we did shoot the podcast, I did not think there was a chance we would all be together in one room. Not a chance at all. But I know my mom really wanted us all to be together for Mother's Day. And I really wanted to fulfill that wish for her. I really did. And for her birthday. I'm sorry, did I say Mother's Day?
Yeah, it was for her birthday.
For her birthday.
Oh, okay.
For her birthday. Yeah, we're like, wait.
It was the weekend before Mother's Day.
Okay, the weekend before Mother's Day. That's my bad. Okay, so in the last couple weeks then.
Yes. So she wanted us to all be together for her birthday. And I was really on the fence about going because I just didn't want to go and then it'd be awkward. Granted, some of us haven't talked in years. But we decided to do that for her. And it was honestly amazing. It was amazing, not only for us, but for the kids as well. Like seeing all the kids play together was
it was really special.
It was. It sounds silly to say, but it felt like a dream come true. Seeing all the kids play together, they're so loving and so good with one another. So it was really amazing to see.
So what happened? You and Jessie, your sister, hadn't talked for years. When you walked in, was it just everybody's just cool and like you were able to be in the same room? Were there heart-to-hearts that happened?
Yeah, there definitely wasn't any like heart-to-hearts by any means. And so like we were there a couple days prior to me like actually seeing Jess and Eric. With Sydney, it was like we right where things left off, we were having fun, joking, being stupid like we always have historically together. But it wasn't until like a couple days after that we actually saw Jess. And it was just very cordial for the sake of my mother, I'd say. So
right.
There was definitely no heart-to-hearts.
But you did speak to each other. You did acknowledge each other and say hello.
Yeah.
Everyone was nice. Honestly, it wasn't like it was normal. It was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't like everybody's all cracking up together, but it was just family getting together.
Yeah.
So do you feel like this has now opened the door where you guys are going to start to be around each other even more?
I think so, 100%. I think honestly that's the hope. Not even just like for the sake of us, but for the sake of our kids, because I don't want our little girls missing out on some amazing aunts and uncles and cousins. So I definitely think it's the start. A lot of wounds, are still left to heal, but I definitely think it's the start of something great.
That's so awesome. I love a storybook ending, a really happy ending to all of that. And that's hard when you have, family members that you're on the outs with. And that's just a really, really tough thing to go through, especially you guys going through that for a few years. So that wasn't the only exciting thing that happened, though. Since we last talked, you guys did finally secure a date for your wedding.
Yeah, we did. We did. Surprisingly enough, finally, yeah.
Okay, so when is the wedding actually going to be and where is it going to be?
So we're not going to give exact details.
Okay.
We're going to keep it a little bit secret.
For the sake of nobody showing up.
Yeah,
right?
that and it's just like.
But Alex, you're invited, obviously.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's like everything's so public. We want to keep a couple things to ourselves, but we're getting married this summer and it's going to be a quick turnaround.
Oh,
there's Andy.
There's one of them. Well, can you tell us at least, is it a beach wedding? Is it a church wedding?
It's going to be outside. It's near a beach, but it's not on the beach.
Okay. Hi, Emmy Grace. Emmy Grace has joined us.
Emmy.
Hi. So,
That's
okay.
Alex. Can you say hi, Alex?
Hi.
She's like, I have no idea who this girl is. That's all right. She's going to join us. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other things I want to know, now that you have then been around your sister and everything, and you guys may start being around each other a little bit more and more as time goes on between now and the wedding, will Jessie and Eric and their family be invited to the wedding?
I'm going to invite them, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to invite them. I want to move past everything. I think everybody is. And yeah, it's definitely the plans to invite them.
Was there any correlation between the fact that you guys ended up now kind of reconciling, being around each other, and then you just happened to a week later decide, okay, now we finally are going to figure out when our wedding is? Like, did that kind of relate to each other?
Not at all. Which I can see as to how you would think that, but not at all. We actually did not plan on that because we didn't know. We were actually getting a wedding date figured out well before we knew that we were going to see everybody and see all the family together. So it really just kind of feels like God's plans, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you guys hopped on real quick to give us an update, because when I found out that this all had happened, I'm like, well, we can't put the episode out and not have some of this update. It's really like a nice little, bow on top of this gift here. So thank you guys so much for coming on, and Emmy for popping in, a little surprise guest.
Bye, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Bye. I never lie. I told you this episode was hot tea, and I always keep my promises. You should know that by now. I actually love having influencer guests on the show once in a while, especially because it's like picking them out of their grid and personifying them for you. Whether you love Allie and John or hate them, you cannot deny that this was 5 Orange Juicy. Make sure you're subscribed to The Spillover, and please leave a 5-star review if you are on the edge of your seat for this. That is the only way I ask you really to support us besides sharing the show, because this is a free show, but that helps us chart in the algorithm on Apple Podcasts. We are back, baby, next Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or you can watch the episode on the POPLITICS YouTube channel. I'm Alex Clark, and this is The Spillover. Love you, mean it. Bye.